Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and today I decided to do another short video on the hacker mode in Battlefield Hardline because, well, I did a video before on this at the very beginning of the beta and, just very basic, just saying that this is the hacker mode and it was there and it kind of got, it was kind of well received. I mean, it got a lot of views by my small channel standards and, mostly because everyone else jumped into Hardline and was playing Hotwire and Heist and so on, and no one really played the hacker mode, so, it was kind of a bit different, if I do say so myself. So a few people watched it, and so I wanted to make this video today, just going over some of the hacker abilities in Hardline, real quick. I mean, obviously, Hacker is the commander mode for Hardline straight out of Battlefield 4, but because it's made for, smaller, tighter, much more fast-paced gameplay maps, the Hacker in Hardline is just, well, he's there mostly to give his team surveillance and, like UAVs in Battlefield 4, so don't expect to be dropping cruise missiles on the enemy or anything like that. But unlike the commander mode in Battlefield 4, what I like about the hacker mode, well, a couple things really. First, the option of becoming a hacker or going back to play the infantry and resigning as a hacker is there, unlike Battlefield 4, where you could become the commander if you were infantry, but you couldn't resign or go back to playing the infantry after you became the commander. You could only quit the game, and in Hardline, it's nice that you can actually go back to playing the infantry without closing down the whole thing, and, you do that by pressing the team setup button. And what's fun about the hacker is that he can get a real-time first-person view of the battlefield from either the squad leader or any of the cameras positioned throughout the map, or traps like, gas and the transformer or overload or things like that, even if they are taken over by the enemy. So simply by holding shift by default, you can take a look at what's going on in these places where the cameras are pointed at, and this is very useful for setting up GPS scans or booby traps or gas and transformer overloads, things like that, because you can take a peek at the battlefield in real time and see if the enemy is there and, set off some gas to disorient them, or if the squad leader is walking into an ambush, you put a GPS spot on him to let him see the enemy that's directly in front of him. Now, I really don't think that the hacker mode is of any use in Hotwire mode, simply because, it's just too fast-paced and always keeps moving, all the time. So using things like GPS spotting is becoming a bit redundant. But in Heist, it can be quite useful, mostly to get a feel for where the other team is, to set, traps like gas, which won't kill anyone admittedly, but will disorient them quite a bit, so your team can finish the job. And keeping up with the team, watching them do stuff, through the cameras or over their shoulders can be somewhat fun and satisfying. I mean, not for everybody, obviously, but it sure can be fun. So, in Heist, you should always try to take over, or hack, as they call it, as many cameras as you can at the start of a round, because once hacked, they will be automatically spotting nearby enemies, which is pretty much the whole idea of the hacker mode. So you should always put down GPS disruptions to the enemy GPS spotting, and try to help your own team, by lighting the way in front of them, so to speak, and basically letting them know what they're walking into. Now, most of this can be done with cameras, but you can also use your GPS spotting, as I said, in places where there are no cameras, simply because you don't want to use the GPS in redundant places where there are cameras to spot the enemy, so you really don't need to use the GPS to have it, later in cooldown when you really need it. The trace option works quite a bit like infantry scan in Battlefield 4 did, spotting high-value targets all over the map, like squad leaders and spawn beacons and whatnot. You also have the squad upgrade button to increase the squad's points faster, and you also have the fast squad deploy, much like in Battlefield 4, which makes the squad spawn time, you guessed it, faster. You also have the new ability called Overclock, which actually is like cooldown on steroids, which the hacker can use to get his abilities up and running faster. The catch is that it will overhit some other abilities randomly, making them cool down much slower, so you use it as you wish. But when everything's in cooldown, I think you really can't lose, if you set the overclock to your abilities. Obviously, the gas and electrical traps that go boom are the most fun to use, but try to hack them right before you need them, because if they get hacked and used only on one enemy, and they do this automatically when enemies walk by at the beginning of a round, they will then be in cooldown at the worst possible time when you actually need them. So thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video, it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one, and remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.